G'day friends, how are you all today? All going well, I hope. It's Kim here from Kyms Homestead, and this week I'm bringing you another video of what's to eat. So here is week 4 of what's to eat during my pantry challenge. Enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to start out with Wednesday, and all I had was 2 leftover fritters. Then for tea I made a lovely chicken burger. It was very nice too. Thursday, and I just made some biscuits with simple tomato on top. One of my favourite lunches. Okay, so for Thursday tea time I decided on devilled sausages. Now I fry the sausages, and these are my own potatoes I'm putting into the mixture, and I just washed them and peeled them and chopped them up into small little squares. Then I decided on an apple that I had in the fridge that needed to be used. So I decided to add a little sweetness to the mix and diced up this apple. And it was very nice in the mix too. Gave it just that little bit of sweetness that I liked. And here's the sausages. Don't you love that crackle? And it's time to turn over the sausages. Get them nice and brown on all sides. Turn the light on, of course, and the overhead vent, and have a snack on some apple peel. Chop up the little potatoes, just so that they're nice little bite-sized pieces. I don't like them too big in the mix. And of course I had some beans from the garden in the bottom of the container, so they went in as well. I also had a jar of carrots that needed to be used, and a jar of diced tomato that needed to be used as well as the last of the onions, well, almost the last of the onions that came out of the garden. So most of these veggies all came out of my garden. And of course the chooks got to enjoy the rest of the apple. Now it's time to take out the sausages, put them on a piece of paper to drain for a minute while the veggies went in, and then it was time to cut up the sausages into bite-sized pieces. I just use a pair of tongs and a pair of scissors, and it makes short work of everything there. Then I'm just showing you the deviled sausage mix that I'm using, just a McCain one. There's the veggies all frying up to al dente. Time to put the sausages in and the diced tomatoes. Then it's time to put the packet of deviled sausage mix in, and of course I rinse out the bag with a little bit of water. And just to fry it up long enough so that the veggies are as you like them. Put the lid on, makes it easier. And there we go, dishing up tea for another week. Doesn't that look absolutely yummy? And here we have Friday. What a busy day Friday was. I started off with all the tomatoes that I'd picked out of the garden. I washed them all, cored them all, and put them into a crock pot. I decided I was going to make ketchup out of it. It's the first time I've ever done ketchup, And as you see, it filled up the crock pot, and as it cooked down, I took out as much of the water as I could, and of course I've saved that. That will be for adding fluids to my recipes and for cooking rice in for other recipes as well. And here I'm adding a bag of frozen tomatoes, just trying to empty out the freezer a little bit. And of course the excess water goes into the juice because it's all juice out of the tomatoes. On Saturday, I picked another bucket of vegetables. Boy, there's a lot coming in. And I decided on a quick dinner, just a veggie mix and a nice chow mein for tea. Description in the description box. Sunday, I was invited over to my sister's house for an Australia Day barbecue. So that took care of tea for then. Monday, I decided to finish off the ketchup, and I added the rest of the veggies that I had put aside, some capsicum, some dried capsicum that I had, and a little bit of zucchini. I thought, what the heck, it can go in too. So, and here goes the rest of the onions. There'll be a cup of sugar, spices and vinegar. And you can find that recipe in the Blue Ball Book of Home Preserving. All back into a nice clean crock pot, and that will simmer away all day today. One and a half cups of vinegar. Next time I'll probably just reduce that to 1 cup of vinegar. And possibly a little less sugar. It's fairly sweet. Back on with the lid and let it bubble away for another day. Tea was pretty simple, just some prawns and veggies. Tuesday, so I had some soup and a slice of bread for lunch because I knew today was going to be fairly busy in canning the ketchup for the day. So first of all, I ran it all through my passata mill, getting out the skins of the onions and the capsicums. It does a really good job. It can be a little messy, but I eventually ran it through the mill 3 times. First of all, I ran the bulk of it through the mill, which got all the juices and the flesh of the tomatoes out. Then the skins all went into the blue ice cream container, which the first time it came out still a bit sloppy, so I knew I'd get a lot more out of it. So I ran it through a second time, and then when it had gone through for the second time, I decided to run the skins through a third time, and it came out a fairly dry mix, so I knew I had all of the pulp and goodness out of it. And of course, what was left went to the chooks. It's a lovely big mix, like thick, very thick mix, and I'm very happy considering this is the first time that I've made this particular recipe. And I've now got a lovely 6 jars sitting on my shelf. Right, now it's time to empty out the food mill and get it ready for washing. Then it'll be time to jar up the ketchup. And here we go. Nope, that one's not gonna do. There we go, that's the right one. 2 cupfuls, and it's pretty much a jar full. Those just are little pint-sized jars. They're the only 2 I could find of that particular one. And then I just finished off with some lug jars that I had. And what was left went into just a little screw top jar. I thought, well, that one's perfect for just topping up the ketchup bottle that I currently have, or for making the baked bean sauce that I plan on later on. Just evening up the jars. I left probably about a 1/2 inch head space, or roughly that. And of course now it's time to wipe down the jars. Seeing as I did all that transfer and that, they got a bit messy, so you got to make sure that there's no food left on the jar rims at all. Making sure the lug lids are nice and tight. And then the 2 ball jars, finger tight for those ones. And there we go, all ready to go in the bubble bath. These went into a water bath with about a 1.5 inch head space over the water over the top of the jars, and they will water bath for 10 minutes. Now, one jar didn't seal, and of course it's those horrible little jars, but that's alright, I'll use it later. And tonight for tea, I'm just doing some mashed potato, some boiled sweet corn, and some frozen Brussels sprouts with a baked pork chop. So it was very, very nice too. I didn't consume any of the mashed potato. I'm having a lot of trouble eating any mashed potato at the moment, so there's my plate. And that's what I had for tea. So there we have it, friends. Another week of what's to eat in the pantry challenge. This is the end of week 4 and beginning week 5 today. So if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. That would be fantastic. And if you're new to the channel, I've got a lot more content coming on, so think about subscribing. Alright friends, I will catch you again very soon on another video. Bye for now.